Hello, I'm Miss Gail, and I'm here for your mindfulness moment. Remember, mindfulness is living each day with greater focus and greater awareness. I use that a lot, but I figured let me take a moment just to talk about what focus and awareness is. Focus is being able to concentrate on something while there's other stuff happening around you. And awareness is just noticing everything around you, but not being distracted by it. Look at it this way. What happens when you walk your dog and then your dog sees a squirrel? His whole attention goes to that squirrel, doesn't it? Right. So he's aware, but as soon as he sees a squirrel, he loses the awareness of everything else around him, and he's only focused on that squirrel. Well, that's kind of what awareness is. So, I want you to be able to concentrate on something, but if something happens to come across your vision or in your space, you don't go, oh, look, there's a squirrel. That's what we mean by focus and awareness. All right, we learned different types of breathing techniques, and I know I don't have to tell you anymore that when you breathe, your belly goes out, and when you breathe out, your belly goes in. So as you take a deep breath, lungs, diaphragm, and belly go out. As you exhale or breathe out, everything comes in. Don't have to tell you that. We've done that before. But I'm going to teach you a new type of breathing today. It's called four square breathing. But first, some housekeeping rules. Are you someplace that is nice and quiet so that you can listen to me and so that you can pay attention? If not, go ahead, get someplace quiet. Okay, are you sitting up nice and tall? Good. All right. And remember that word that we're not allowed to say, C-A-N-T, can't. We don't say it. Nope, never say it. We say, I'll try. Okay, what's four square breathing? I have my yoga block here as an example. It's not quite a square, it's more of a rectangle, because if it were a square, all of the sides would be equal. But it will work for today. So I want you to imagine in four square breathing, you do it just actually closing your eyes. I want you to imagine that your eyes travel up one side of the square as you breathe in 4 times. Then you actually hold your breath and you imagine that your eyes are traveling across the top of the square for 4 counts. Then you breathe out and you imagine that your eyes are traveling down the side of the square 4 times. And then you imagine that you are holding your breath again as your eyes travel across the bottom of the square right to where you started. That's four square breathing. You breathe in for 4 counts. You hold for 4 counts as your eyes go across the top of the square. You breathe out for 4 counts as your eyes go down the side of the square. And then you hold for 4 counts as your eyes go across the bottom of the square. Practice it with me today. All right, ready? Now, keep your eyes open initially so that you can see my hands move. But as you get better at it, go ahead and close your eyes and do it. All right, 4 square breathing. Ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3. Once again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3. Again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. You got it? Okay. Can you try it with your eyes closed? I'm going to keep doing it here with my square in case you get lost. Then all you have to do is peek, open up one eye, and you can see where you're supposed to be. All right. Close your eyes. Just listen to my voice. Ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3. Again, breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold your breath. 2, 3, and stop. How'd you do? I bet you did pretty well. But remember, like everything else, if you want to get better, you have to practice it. That's 4 square breathing. Now you might say, Miss Gail, what is 4 square breathing good for? Well, it helps to train your lungs so that you can take a big breath in. You can hold it before you let it go. So it helps you train your lungs and diaphragm to take bigger breaths in and bigger breaths out. That's what 4 square breathing does. All right, let's take a moment to loosen up our body a little bit. Let's pretend again that we have strings on our neck. Our neck is really tight. Untie the strings from your neck. Move the head around. Now we're going to remove the tightness from our shoulders. Pretend that you have strings on your shoulders. Untie those strings from your shoulders and move the shoulders up and down. And pretend that you have strings on your ribs, those bony things covering your lungs. Untie the strings from your ribs and your body starts to move. It starts to wiggle back and forth. All right, we have strings on our hips. Let's untie the strings from our hips. And when we untie them, we wiggle our hips. And remember, we have strings on our knee. Untie the string from your knee. Move your knee up and down. And we have 2 knees. Untie the string from the other knee. Move that knee up and down. And we have strings on our right elbow. Untie those strings from that elbow so that elbow can move nice and loose. And then we have a string on our left elbow. Untie the string from the left elbow. Move that elbow around. This is my favorite part. There's a string right on the tippy top of our heads. And as we untie the string from the top of our head, our whole body moves. Our head moves. And our neck moves, and our shoulders move, and our arms move, and our ribs move, and our hips move, and our knees move, and elbows move, and everything shakes. We're just shaking all the tension out of our body. Don't you feel better? Sometimes you just have to do that. Sometimes you just feel like your body is tied up in knots. And that's a great technique to help you relax. It's called untying the strings. All right, so what did we learn today? We learned about four square breathing. And the way we do it is we breathe in 4 times, 4 counts. A little bit different than bunny breath, because in bunny breath you breathe in 5 times. In four square breathing, you just breathe in. It's a continual breath, 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we hold our breath for 4 counts. As you imagine that your eyes are going across the top of the square, hold 1, 2, 3, 4. And you breathe out 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you hold your breath again for 4 counts as you bring your eyes across the bottom of that imaginary square. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's four square breathing. And then we just spent a couple of minutes just untying the strings from our body to help us get a little bit looser so we can relax a little bit more. Because that's what helps you concentrate better in school, do better in sports, anything that you want to do, any activity that you have, you need to be calm and relaxed so that you can focus on what you're trying to do. Well, I have to let you go today. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, don't forget our mantra. A mantra, remember, is just a little saying. And we're going to say the word Shanti 3 times. Shanti means peace. The first time we say Shanti, we're asking for peace to come in our brain. The second time we say Shanti, we're asking for peace to come into our body. The third time we say Shanti, we're asking for peace to come into everything and every place around us. So join me. Ready? Touch your head. Shanti. Touch your shoulders. Shanti. And move your arms in front of you. Shanti. And let's put peace out into the atmosphere for everybody to share. Ready? Peace. And that's your mindfulness moment for today. Have a great one.